I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Gun Pro Deals. Check them out. They have lots of tools we use, especially in times like this. Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source for Second Amendment news. Thank you for your time. I am so grateful for your support of the channel. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. This is where you'll find all of the Second Amendment news, no matter where it's happening, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. And lately, it's been happening quite a bit with this COVID-19 pandemic. I wanted to talk to you all about some victories here related to the Second Amendment. And we'll talk about two specifics, and we'll go on from there. So, Los Angeles County. The sheriff there is Alex Villanueva, and he has, once this pandemic started, he ordered gun shops to close down, and in fact started sending deputies to those locations to force them to close, and they were sued. They were sued by the Second Amendment Foundation. They were in conjunction with Firearms Policy Coalition, the NRA, and others. And what happened was he flipped like a fish out of water. And now what he said as of March 28th, a couple days ago, he said that the United States Department of Homeland Security has issued an advisory memorandum in regard to essential critical infrastructure workers during COVID-19 response. Although explicitly advisory in nature, nonetheless the federal memorandum is persuasive given its national scope. Included in the list of essential critical infrastructure workers are workers supporting the operation of firearm or ammunition product manufacturers, retailers, importers, distributors, and shooting ranges. Based on this further input from the federal government, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department will not order or recommend businesses that sell or repair firearms or sell ammunition to close. Now, this is not, he didn't do this because of the Trump administration changing their mind based off of a letter they received from Gun Owners of America and Gun Owners of California and others. If you didn't see that video, I'll post it there. He flipped because he was sued, and when the federal government deemed it to be essential, how can your county say it's not essential? And what it is our safety. How can the national, the federal government say, hey, the Second Amendment, yes, during times like this, it is still a fundamental right? They didn't say that much, they just said that the firearms industry is essential. But now you still have states that say, no, it doesn't matter what the federal government says, you're not essential, and you can't open, and we're forcing you to close. Well, FPC, Second Amendment Foundation, NRA, and others sued Villanueva, and he flipped, okay? And it didn't stop there. Let's go to New Jersey. I'll read you this little press release. The Second Amendment Foundation declared victory today when New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy backed away from his earlier position on gun shop operations in the state during the current COVID-19 pandemic and will now allow operations by appointment. Second Amendment Foundation sued Murphy and Acting State Police Superintendent Colonel Patrick Callahan in the U.S. District Court last week, seeking a preliminary injunction and a temporary restraining order. They were ultimately joined by the New Jersey Second Amendment Society, the Firearms Policy Coalition, and Legend Firearms. Also on the case was attorney David Jensen of New York and attorney Adam Kraut, who is now out of California. We're delighted that, this is a quote, we're delighted that Governor Murphy has reversed course in this matter, even if it took a lawsuit to get him to do that, said Second Amendment Foundation founder and Executive Vice President Alan Gottlieb. Our lawsuit cut right to the heart of what the Second Amendment is all about, which is personal protection during emergency situations like the ongoing coronavirus pandemic that has gripped the nation. Murphy, the governor of New Jersey, found himself in the uncomfortable and untenable position of having to defend his armed protection detail while having closed down the Garden State gun shops, making it impossible for the average citizen to buy ammunition, much less a firearm. So the Second Amendment Foundation said, look, if it's not essential, why are you still running around with your armed thugs? All right, he couldn't really respond to that. Also, it was made essential federally. Why would it not be essential in the Garden State? If you cross an imaginary dotted line on a map, you're no longer your safety is no longer valued. Let's go to my state, Massachusetts. They originally shut everything down. Wasn't essential. President Trump's thing came through, making the firearms industry essential. So the governor, Charlie Baker, put this up. And this would be the updated essential business list that he has on the Mass website. Workers supporting the operation of firearm or ammunition product manufacturers, retailers, importers, distributors, and shooting ranges were to be deemed essential. This is the exact wording from the federal government's thing that came down. And then gun shops here in Mass started saying to their customers, hey, we're going to open up based off of the new essential business listings and the presidential nod that the industry is essential. Well, then our Attorney General, old the Grinch who stole the Second Amendment, Maura Healey, she tweeted this: gun shops and shooting ranges are not essential businesses during a public health emergency. We cannot undermine the safety of our police officers, first responders, and domestic violence victims. Okay, old Maura. So as a cop for 23 years, I feel much safer when citizens are armed. I ain't blowing smoke. It's a fact. The more good guys with guns, the better off society is. And while all of a sudden, because some people have a virus, that changes? No, it doesn't. And how is a domestic violence victim going to be any more at risk than they are any other day? The fact that I can go buy some ammunition doesn't put any victims at risk. What does put them at risk is how you're letting criminals back on the street. Police can't respond to certain calls. In fact, some departments have said we're not responding to this type of stuff no matter what. That puts people at risk, and that's your doing. But Charlie Baker, who apparently, even though he's the governor, is like the whipping boy for the Attorney General, she is the one who overnight took away assault weapons, took away our ARs and AKs and copycats and duplicates, and he stood by and did nothing. Powerless. The governor. Big, powerful man. So apparently Maura Healey runs the show, and then Charlie Baker did this on the website for essential businesses. Workers supporting the operation of firearm or ammunition product manufacturers, importers, and distributors. Removed retailers and gun ranges because Maura Healey said so. Keep doing good, Charlie. Keep taking the orders of Maura Healey. And right now, gun shops are not able to open. In fact, the Massachusetts State Police today, April 2nd, 2020, have notified all firearms instructors who teach the basic firearm safety course for the license to carry here in Massachusetts, and LEOSA, which falls in for retired or active police officers, no longer allowed to teach those classes. yeah, you don't tell me what to do. But that is what's going on in Massachusetts. For 2 hours, just under 2 hours, it was the way it should be, and then Maura Healey opened her mouth, and now everybody's getting in line because old mom Maura is mad. If you live in Massachusetts, maybe you'll be hearing more about this situation very soon. It's not just these 3 states that I'm talking about. I could add more. If you live in a state that is in this situation, you know what I'm talking about. But that's what's going on. You have tyrants who are stepping up to take advantage of any type of crisis. Never let a good crisis go to waste. That's what they're doing. We have people worried about their safety, so we're going to take away guns. And nobody has the balls to say anything. You guys are learning right now with these mega lawsuits exactly what is more important, your opinion or the Constitution. And so far, opinions are losing left and right. And regarding the California issue, Sheriff Villanueva, the Board of Supervisors unanimously voted to remove him as the Director of Emergency Operations. They have put the CEO of the county in charge of that. So the county CEO now is in charge of emergency operations when historically, nationwide, it's the top law enforcement official for that area. So there's probably more to his little smackdown. He looked like a fool in court, so they're removing him from the Director of Emergency Operations for the COVID-19 response. So there's usually more to that. But it's happening left and right. Know that these groups that are helping and standing up and fighting for us, they need funds to do this, guys and gals. I don't get paid by them. I am not on anybody's payroll, but I'll tell you that Firearms Policy Coalition, Second Amendment Foundation, Gun Owners of America, and the individual states, groups that are actually doing the right thing and filing lawsuits and stopping this instead of standing by and letting it happen, those are the ones who absolutely not only need, but have earned and deserve our support. So, cut a check if you can. $20, $25 goes a long way when a couple hundred people or a couple thousand people do the same. I know times are tough right now with Corona, but We really need to make our stance heard, guys. The Constitution outweighs anybody's friggin' opinion. Period. And unfortunately, it takes lawsuits to shut the tyrants down, and that takes money. So if you can, dig into your pocket. Don't go to Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks or wherever you're going for a week and throw some money at any of these organizations. Pick one. They're doing work on our behalf. Even if you don't live in the states where the lawsuits have already been won, they're looking for plaintiffs right now in the other states that have been affected. I've already put out posts from Firearms Policy Coalition and did a video. They're looking to go after these states. Help them out if you can. The membership, we are the lifeblood of these organizations. We might not be the attorneys that put the paperwork forward, but our funds is what makes it happen. So please support those who support you. Please consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. This is where you're going to get this type of news probably faster than anyone else. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a weapon, like the video, please. Hit that bell next to the subscribe if you haven't done that already, and share this with your friends. Take care, everybody, and I hope you're all being extremely safe.